Well, Jim, 2 days after the playoff final, have you recovered yet? Did you have a sore head yesterday?
No, not particularly. No, basically yesterday the hard work started, so we were in early and starting to look at what needs to happen for next season.
Yeah, of course. And what a wonderful day it was on Monday. I must start off on that. So great to see so many happy faces, all the players, the staff, the coaches, the fans, yourself. What a day.
Yeah, I mean, after the win at Chichester, it seemed inevitable. We just knew we were gonna win the playoffs, and the performance at Billericay was absolutely fantastic. And then again at Dartford, just carried it on through. Supporters all round were tremendous, loud, full-blooded support, but no trouble, no nasty stuff, and really got behind the team. And I think that made the difference. And what a fantastic day it was at Dartford.
And that's the thing, isn't it? The fans were so well behaved. I know there's been a few flashpoints this season. Of course, that's been dealt with very swiftly. But that was just perfect, wasn't it? There was no trouble at all, and it was just all good-spirited stuff.
Yeah, and that's what we want from our supporters. We want them to enjoy themselves, be loud, be proud, but not behave in a way that's inappropriate. We don't want inappropriate behaviour around the club, and we won't stand for it. But all of those supporters that have been with us over the playoffs have been fantastic.
Now, I spoke to you just under a year ago, and of course, we've just been relegated from the National League South. There's a lot of uncertainty. We didn't quite know what the level was going to be like, and expectations were pretty low, I would say. People thought that maybe we might struggle again, maybe mid-table would be good. You must be absolutely delighted with how it went. I know, obviously, we led the table, and then we dropped off a bit, but overall, it was a tremendous season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you'd have told me that we would be leading the table at Christmas, I wouldn't have believed it, frankly, at the start of the season. Every team has a sticky patch. You know, we had a few injuries and a bit of sickness around the camp, and we dropped away for about, I think it was 10 games. But to go for a team to come back in this league to get to the playoff final after that drop-off, what a fantastic group of players they are.
So you've announced the season ticket prices for next season. Just tell us a little bit about them, what was behind the thinking of everything. Obviously, costs have gone up.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's always a tricky one to set gate prices and season ticket prices. And we took a look at where we were last time we were in the National League South. And we've taken into account, obviously, all the costs that have gone up since then, the employment costs, the utilities. Everybody's suffered the same things. Everybody knows what the cost increases are. We've tried to keep it to a minimum. I think gate prices are £1 more than they were last time we were in non-League South. But I think the adult season ticket, for example, is about £13 a game it works out at. So it's quite a big discount and good value. And there's other valuable discounts available on tickets of 5 and so on, as well as promotions. So that's all available on the website, and people can go on and have a look at how we've placed the prices.
Yeah, and the £18, one-off entry fee is very competitive in that division, I would say. I mean, there's a bit of a spread. I think we come in probably on the lower half of the spectrum, don't we?
To be honest, I haven't really checked others. I've just looked at what we need. I mean, this division now is more like the old conference was last time we were in it, the old National League. The National League now is really an EFL division, and National League South and to a certain extent National League North are actually what the old conference was in terms of cost and in terms of ability and so on. So it is an expensive league to be in now.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, weren't we, that there could potentially be something like 10 full-time clubs in the National League South. I mean, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, well, the 3 coming down are all full-time, and there's obviously Boreham Wood and people like that are in the league already. So, yeah, we could be competing in terms of budget with 10 full-time clubs.
Of course, the crowds this season averaged about 1,100. I know that was inflated by the community days, really, being fair. I know you were slightly disappointed. You needed it to average over 1,000, week in, week out. That didn't quite happen. But it really does make a difference, doesn't it? If the crowds were over 1,000 this coming season, or even 1,200, just tell the fans what you can do with that extra support in terms of revenue and what you can achieve with it.
Well, I've worked it out very roughly, and given the season ticket sales that we hope we achieve this year, a crowd of 1,250 would give Jake another £100,000 to spend on his playing budget. So, there's no getting away from it. The club relies highly on on our supporters coming in through the gates and buying the tickets, as well as our fantastic commercial support that we get from local businesses.
Now, of course, it's not just about the crowds that come through every week. It's actually the business community, isn't it? You've had some excellent support from the business community this season, and obviously you want to try and maintain that. Just tell us where they can help, and what's the uptake been so far?
Yeah, it's been very positive. I mean, we've just writing to all of our existing sponsors today. Hopefully they'll all come on board, and then we need to go out and find some more sponsors. Obviously, we've got Mega, our main sponsor, who have just signed with us for another 3 years, and they have been fantastic for the club, both on the field and in the community. So, and then there's firms like News Team. They've been fantastic for us. They're signed up already for next year, and we're hoping all the other local sponsors will come on board. We obviously offer the dining package in the Platinum restaurant, which is going down really well, and we hope more companies take us up on that. And we are reliant. We understand that sometimes it is about supporting the club, the community club in the community, for these companies, but they can't underestimate the great help that is to us.
Yeah, of course, everyone's feeling the pinch, aren't they? Fans are feeling the pinch. Their employers are feeling the pinch. Everyone is. The whole country, basically. Yeah,
and we understand that, because obviously everybody else is feeling. We employ people. We pay electric. We pay gas. We pay rates. Our rates have just gone up by £1,000 a month. To give an example of the types of challenges that we're facing, but we have to try and keep our costs down to the minimum we can to our supporters, but we have to charge enough to keep the club solvent.
Yeah. Now, Mega, of course, extended their deal with the promotion. That's bolstered a little bit as well, I understand.
Yeah, they've been very generous with the agreement that if we get promoted, there's an increase in the sponsorship. I can't give you any figures, but it's very generous, and we're really grateful to them.
Yeah, in terms of the community, I mean, that was something that has been great for the last few seasons, really. I think the community thing, and it got really strong last season in particular. You must be pleased with how that's going, and surely Mega must be as well.
Yeah, I mean, Mega's aim is to do good in the community as well as support the club, and Vicky's done a really great job there. We're also developing the youth setup really well. We've got 5, I think, girls teams coming across for next season. So we have 5 or 6 youth teams plus 5 girls teams operating in the community. So we're looking to develop that and enhance that, and we're hoping these girls teams develop into a ladies team at senior level as we go forward.
Of course, we've got some great facilities here. The centre spot, a nice big space there. How's that going in terms of it being hired out and stuff?
Yeah, we've had a bit of a disappointing drop off actually in people using the centre spot. And we were regularly getting 2 or 3 bookings a month in there. To be honest, over the last few months, we've only had 1 or 2 for the whole period, and that may reflect the economic situation, or it may be something typical for Dover. I just don't know at the moment, but we're hoping that we get more bookings for the centre spot, because that's another important revenue stream for us.
One of the things I enjoyed a couple of times this season was your hospitality package, where you could have a little meal, 3-course meal, before the game, and you get a seat, a nice seat actually, of great views. I really recommend it, anyone who's not done that before. That's obviously something that you're keen to continue this season, and how's that been? How's the uptake been on that?
That's actually been quite good. We've had 100% take up on a few games, but we've been hovering around 50 or 60% take up. We'd like that to be 100% every game, because it's an important part of what we do, encouraging business people and other people to come and have a really good time.
Now, can I ask you about the concessions around the ground? I mean, obviously the Pizza the Action that was brought in last season, very nice pizza, by the way. Again, I can highly recommend anyone who's not tried that. I know you're not a pizza man, but things like that, and also drinking, having being able to take plastic cups out with beer or other alcohol. That must have been quite successful this season.
Yeah, that's helped beer sales, no doubt about that. Pizza Hut has been successful on some games, not so successful on others. It's a new thing. We're hoping that develops. We're having a look at that this year to see how we can improve it, to see whether we can provide something more for the supporters. But generally, the outlets do well.
Yeah, and in terms of the last season, it went to some excellent grounds actually in terms of the facilities. There was some really impressive ones. I actually was quite impressed with Billericay the other night, I have to say. Have you been learning a little bit from these clubs? Because I suppose, although it was a lower level, we hadn't been at that level for a while, it's always good to learn from these clubs, isn't it?
hey, listen, you never stop learning. Every day's a school day, isn't it? And you can pick up little tips. I think we do pretty well. The ground is the second biggest stadium in Kent, I believe, which brings its own expenses with it. But we're always looking to see where we can improve it. Some things we can do, some things we can't, but we always look at all opportunities.
Now, I know you just had a meeting with Jake and Mike. They've been here this morning. How did that meeting go?
It went very, very well, very positive. Mike and Jake will be here next year. I think they're going to bring on board another coach, which will be announced in due course. We're looking to retain quite a few of the players. We've got one player on an option, and I think it's 7 young players on Bosman, so they'll be written to this week and offered terms of retention. But of course, if they're on Bosman, if anybody wants to sign them, then they've got to pay a fee.
What's the sort of feeling at the moment? Does it looking like most of them want to stay, or you're in the dark a little bit at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in the dark. I mean, I think unless there's some really good offers from league clubs or full-time offers, I think the majority will want to stay if we can come to an arrangement.
Yeah, I suppose promotion was vital in that, wasn't it, keeping these players?
Absolutely. All these boys are ambitious. They want to get on in football, and we want them to get on in football. That's part of our ethos, is to help these players develop so that they can move on in the football world.
Now, Jim, I know you don't know exactly what the budget is yet. A lot's going to depend on the season ticket sales. But I mean, are you hoping that it's going to be quite competitive in this division?
I think it will depend upon A, commercial support from companies, and B, ticket sales and crowds. The problem is we don't know what the crowds are going to be, so you're really sticking a finger in the air to see which way the wind blows. I'm sure there will be a lot of clubs with bigger budgets. The 10 full-time clubs will have bigger budgets for sure. So we'll be competing or trying to compete against that, but we're used to that at Dover, and we find different ways of doing things.
And of course, you know, the season, it might be finished, but it comes around pretty quickly, the pre-season, doesn't it? And there's some exciting friendlies there that you've been able to secure.
Yeah, and we're playing the Arsenal Academy. Adam Birchall's bringing them down, and whilst we call them the Arsenal Academy, there's some really fantastic players in that are knocking on the Arsenal first team door, so they'll be here. We're playing our local friends, Deal Town, here as well. Margate we're playing, and of course Gillingham are bringing a team down to us. So, you know, there's some really good friendlies shaping up.
You just mentioned Arsenal. I know from my day job, you know, that Premier League sides put teams in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, you know, the Football League Trophy as it's called. And it's literally that team that plays in it, and they're always playing against League 1 and 2 teams.
Oh yeah, these are no bunch of kids. These are professional footballers that are really skilled and talented, and they'll probably be playing in Arsenal first team in a year's time. So that'll be a great game to watch.
Yeah, and of course everyone loves Adam Birchall here. He's a legend, so it's a good chance to meet up with him and, you know, give him your best wishes, everyone.
Yeah, Adam doesn't normally manage that team, but because it's Dover, he's coming down, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with him.
Now, of course, we had a few problems with the pitch this season, mainly because of the weather, of course. But, you know, we go around a lot of these teams and they've got 3G pitches, haven't they? And we've been very good on them, actually, this season. We've actually got some great results. And I understand there is going to be some upgrades on the pitch coming soon. Yeah,
we're doing it actually next week. The pitch will be completely refurbished with seed and top dressing. We suffered badly after the Horsham game here, where we played in a monsoon, and the pitch was like a ploughed field afterwards, which froze in that evening. And that's made it very, very difficult for us to get the pitch in the right form. But it will be brand spanking new by the time we come to next season. And then we are looking at 3G. We have to these days because of finance. But also all the players now are brought up on 3G. They're all used to playing on it. They like playing on it. And actually we've done very well on it as a team away from home. So it's a real consideration for us. It'll be dependent upon backing from Dover District Council and the Football Foundation, but we're hopeful we can achieve something. I know you prefer the games to be played on grass, you're old school, but you have to be pragmatic sometimes, don't you? Pragmatic is the word, Justin. Yeah, I mean, it's a fact of life. The world moves on, and yeah, I prefer the game played on grass, but reality is that 3G now is the norm. Now, you just said about, you know, you need help from the council, etc. What's being done on that? Has that started yet, or is that something that's going to happen down the line? We've had some brief conversations community-wise, and I'm not sure quite how that's come out finally, but I think it's going to be 1 or 2 years before we can actually put that together.
Now, Jim, some people say that you've mellowed. I don't know if that's true or not. Have you mellowed, and are you enjoying football more than you ever did when you first got into football all those years when I first met you?
Well, I'm not sure if I've mellowed. If you upset me, you might find out. But no, I think I'm retired now. There's less pressure in life, I guess. Football is still very enjoyable. It's becoming a bit of a worry at times financially, for me personally. That's why it's really important that we get the support we get, and if we can get another couple of people on board, maybe at board level with an interest that want to make a contribution, we certainly would be very up for that.
Yeah, because I know there's times that you've had to top things up, haven't you?
Oh, many times, yeah, and I'm getting to the point now where if I don't want a divorce, I've got to stop doing it.
And how is Sally, by the way?
She's recovering from an operation, thanks, and she's doing all right, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Jim, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, Justin. Thank you.